Okay.
Okay, ready?
I think we are on. Hang on. I don't think anyone's here yet.
Oh, lame.
Let me see. Group chat.
This is also for the future people.
Yeah. Anyone's here yet? Oh, what is going on? Let me see. Ah, it's talking to me. This always happens. Okay, people are here.
Okay.
Oh.
Hey.
Hey, look at that. It's like magic.
Hey, everyone. We haven't had a live chat in a couple months, something like that. We just got back from Costco, so we're doing this. Here we are.
You guys want to say hi?
Hi.
Okay, so on right now we have home birth, homeschool, homestead, which is just too long of a name for anything. I think you should pick one of those. Amy, Brooke, Lisa E, G6 Tribe, Melissa, Maggie, Charmaine, Tanya, a lot of names that we recognize. Good to see you guys. Can everyone hear okay and all that? Cammie, you cut your beautiful hair off.
I did.
Yes.
Oh, someone's just realizing.
Yeah.
Hair is gone.
It's been a while since we've done the live stream. And to those of you who are tuning in after the fact, welcome to you too. Mm-hmm. Man, this is kind of wonky how... okay, Amy says she can hear perfectly.
Oh, good.
How it only does chat here. That's like so frustrating. Oh, well.
We need to give Rainier his debut.
Oh, yep. This is Rainier is going to be going off to Grammy and Papa soon.
Harmony
and Papa. You want to say hi to people? Can you take your hand out? Can you say hi?
Hi.
Hi. Do you want to go night? No. That's his main word now is no.
When he doesn't want stuff that he likes, he says no.
Okay, hang on. We got to move this.
Thank you to someone. Thanks. Oh, thanks, Dan.
Oh, that's
Anya.
Anya and Dan.
And Dan for the compliment.
Cammie, first time Cammie's hair is on live stream short.
Well,
Yeah, we got to
parts with.
So today's schedule,
Memory.
we're going to be covering is this right here. I don't know if you can see this. For the first 5 minutes, we're going to be just doing this welcome stuff. And then starting at 5 minutes to, we're going to be talking about our weekly schedule with the kids. And then from 20 to 35 minutes, Cammie's going to be talking about how she got more freedom. And then from 35 to 50, we're going to be talking about to the kids about what it was like editing sex videos. Then there's a special bonus. And then we're going to end off with a Q&A for as long as people are here, reasonably speaking. Why does Lisa A say no picture? Does that mean she can't see us? Ben with the casino MIT sweater. Yeah, this shirt was a joke that I used, and I actually wore it to a casino, blackjack. Okay, yep. People say they can see us. Hopefully, you guys are figuring out the live stream thing. Hey, don't touch this, okay? You can't touch the microphone. It's kind of annoying because the chat is only working on this screen.
Right.
But our live thing is only working over here. Mm-hmm. I'm going to give us 1/2 of 1 second while I figure this out. Sorry to do this to you guys. Okay. We're going to be getting into our first topic now. Thank you guys all for joining us. We really appreciate you guys taking the time on a Sunday evening, because I think it makes these things a lot more interesting, and it's really a fun thing for us to be able to try this different format out. that is much more interactive. Dan says, this is fun. I usually watch this after the fact. Yeah, good to have you here, Dan. Okay,
It could be. Yeah.
so we're going to be talking about our family schedule. Hey, guys from Australia. Hello, Australian blessings.
Hi.
Okay, Flea, can you scoot over 1 second? I'm going to sit down here. And I'm going to ask the kids to kind of gather around because we're going to try and do this together. So this question was inspired.
I think you should scoot down more.
I want to give a shout out to everyone that is on the Facebook Fight for Together discussion group. That's been really a fun and happening place. And I think it's been somewhat productive. Anya, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but I saw that you're on here. So welcome. She said, we would love to hear your weekly family schedule in grid format. You guys did this a couple of years ago. And I actually think we've done it twice, once more recently. But you're guessing it's changed and you're interested in hearing the latest and what's worked and what has not worked. Well, you're not going to get grid format. This is it. This is your grid right here. But I told the kids that we're going to go through our schedule and just talk about it as a family. And
You said it right.
And you guys can ask any questions. And let's just start with Sunday.
Okay.
Who wants to start off? That's today. This is like our first day of the week that we kind of celebrate. Celebrate is a strong word sometimes.
7, you want to tell about Sunday?
Well, you mean vlogging wise?
Just everything.
Whatever happens on our Sundays.
Well, Sunday, we usually wake up late because we stay up late on Saturday night. We try to wake up at 8, and Dove makes breakfast, and then we do our chores, which is like some in the summer we work outside, and then that goes to lunch, and then we go running at 4, and then Memory makes dinner, and every other month I guess we do this live stream.
Yeah, anything else? Sunday's our run day.
Mm-hmm.
We do treat it like a regular work day. Hey guys, can't stay. Gotta get kids in bed. Just want to say hi. Miss you guys. Hello, Tim or Dana, whoever that is.
Hey.
Anything else on Sunday that stands out?
You and I have been meeting for the Appalachian Trail.
Oh, yes.
Or it more looks like, Ben, can we meet for the AT? Ben. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been doing our AT meetings, which have been a little bit tedious. When the weather's nice, that's kind of like our work day to like get house projects done and stuff around the house, like even cleaning up our calendars and our desktops, our computer desktops, or doing yard work. Mm-hmm. Anything else Sunday? All right, Monday. Who wants to talk about Monday?
I'll talk about Monday.
Go for it.
I really like Mondays. Me and Eden take
This is
turns.
Dev, by the way.
Yes. I don't know who's on breakfast because we changed that up, but it's either 7 or Eden.
It's me.
We have Hebrew. And then only pretty free.
You have quiet time.
Yeah. Quiet time.
Homework time.
We're going
Oh,
through
we're
all
doing it detail. Okay.
They want a grid.
Breakfast,
Well, what's before breakfast?
workout.
Oh, yeah.
I'm in charge of workout, which is pull day. So we do like pull-ups and upside down push-ups and curls and stuff like that. So that's kind of fun. And then we do breakfast, and then after, which is at 8:30, starts quiet time. From 8:30 to 9 is quiet time, and then 9 o'clock starts homework-ish time until 9:30, and that's when Hebrew starts, and that goes for an hour. And then lunch at like 12. Oh, and
Do we have music?
We have music, yeah, but
Mhm.
that's a little bit difficult
10:30.
because everyone has separate like lessons, so that's kind of goes from 10:30 to like 1 or 12:30 or something like that.
Mhm.
And then after 1,
Hey, Jennifer, welcome.
it's like free. Data goes to racquetball.
I have racquetball on Mondays. What else?
Sounds
We
about
have
right.
our meeting.
Yeah, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, we have our 12-step meeting from 7:30 to 8:30 usually. It's not
Well,
really.
hold on. We do dinner, and that's either Eden or Dove make dinner.
We take turns and we have our grandma and grandpa over.
That's right.
So we cook for 10 people.
Mhm.
One of us every Monday night.
And then the 12 step. Go ahead. 7. Then the
that's all I
12
have.
step meeting is after dinner. Okay.
And we've tried to schedule stuff in the evenings. Evenings are really hard because we found that if we don't schedule things, we end up just like wasting a bunch of time like on the internet. And it ends up just like going into the vapor. So we try and schedule things, but that's usually when we're all burned out and don't really want to do a whole lot. So we have these like placeholder events. Okay, Tuesday.
You want me to go?
Yeah.
Okay. Tuesday, we have, again, same morning schedule with breakfast at 8, quiet time at 8:30. And the quiet time is actually behind the scenes. The kids do quiet time from 8:30 to 9. And Ben and I, a lot of times we use this as kind of we'll take a shower together. We'll have alone time and just talk and get change from workout. And then we'll come down and kind of do our quiet time and breakfast then. But the kids are kind of self-contained for the most part. I mean, a lot of times we have to tell them why are you talking? But at 9:30, the kids have their homework. And oh wait, I'm totally goofing this up. Wow, I
You're
was just
doing your own
really
thing.
gun-ho about that's Wednesday.
Mr.
But
Johnny says hi
Tuesday-
from Ontario.
What
Hi,
a
Mr.
friend.
Johnny. And Del Mary Monta says
Why
hey
did-
from Connecticut.
Why did someone stop me?
You're having
Okay.
fun.
Yeah. I mean, take all of that and put it on Wednesday or Monday. But on Tuesday, it's different. Ben and we wake up usually around 7:30, and then we go to down the street coffee shop to have our business meeting that we do every single week. We take usually about an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on how early we get there. And this is, I guess we're just doing the schedule.
Yes, Eden, what would you like to say?
You guys actually sometimes take a lot longer than that.
Well, when we don't have Hebrew, is we take a little bit longer. We have a more comfortable pace.
I
Yeah.
don't like Tuesday morning.
But usually we have to be
Tell us.
back for Hebrew at 9:30. 10:30. Help me out here. Tuesdays are run day. So,
We have science with.
oh, that's right. Right after Hebrew, the kids have science over at their grandma's house.
Rainier is gone. You missed him. Someone's asking.
Oh,
He
yeah.
took off. There.
Yeah.
He's cute but loud.
Mhm. And then so we run at 4:30, and then we have dinner over at Ben's parents' house, and they live right behind us. And then after that, we split off. Ben has a guys' night where he just hangs out with guys. And
Before that, we watch a documentary
oh
or
gosh,
teaching.
I'm like,
I know,
reading.
it's hard,
This is the
isn't
problem
it?
when you don't have it right in front of you, you forget. Before guys' night, we watch a documentary.
Which the kids don't really like usually. Is that right?
It probably depends.
They're
On
boring.
the topic.
Depends on the documentary.
I really don't like it.
But it's one that Ben and I choose. And then after that, Ben has his guys' night. 7 joins him. And then me and the girls, we watch something like we've been watching 13 Reasons Why.
They just finished it.
We just finished it.
And eat cookie dough.
Yeah, we eat something sweet. We just try to have a good time.
Tomorrow we're eating peppermint bark.
Yeah, no, 2 days from now. But
watching
Oh, yeah.
13 Reasons Why.
Yeah.
I'm watching something else.
No,
Are you
we're not.
guys
We're
gonna
watching
watch it?
Beyond the Reasons. Of 13 Reasons
Are you
Why.
serious?
Yes.
No,
I'm finishing the second.
No,
one.
you
No.
guys should watch me
His mom
before
and
you.
dad.
hey, thanks, Mr. Johnny.
What does Johnny say? Cammy loves your wife, love your short hair. So you look awesome. I agree. What did the kids think of 13 Reasons Why?
I liked it.
His memory.
I didn't really get it.
Are
but-
very
Memory is someone-
obsessed with it.
She's
Hey,
at-
Memory, where'd you go?
Rainier is
Okay,
over
I
at
think she's.
my grandparents' house.
I
Oh,
really
yeah.
liked it. I mean, I don't really have anything much to compare it to in that I think that's the only show, like Netflix show thing, series show that I've completely finished. But I really liked it.
Eden?
I'm so tired of it. It's been like at least 4 weeks, and then like the music in our house was from 13 Reasons Why, and
Yes.
Dub and Seven wouldn't stop mentioning it, and whatever.
So, G6 Tribe has a question for you kids. So we're pausing on Tuesday. How do you schedule time in for friends?
Well, days a week I have like Tuesday and Wednesday I have like pretty consistently scheduled with 2 different friends.
And Monday.
And but other than that, normally I'll just be like, hey mama, is there anything scheduled for Monday? She'll be like, I don't know, look at the calendar. I'll be like, I just looked at the calendar. And then she'll be like, okay,
So why are you
well, sure. And so
Dove's always trying to schedule more, and we're trying to just have her schedule a little less. There's that tension there.
There's some kids who are totally fine without friends. That's not necessarily true. But they're not as social. And then there's some kids who really.
So I feel like
Need
we
friends.
got like 3 minutes. We got to finish this grid
Okay.
thing.
Okay. Should I
Um,
just go for it? Or you have all the 3? Did you do one?
I didn't do
I
one.
did Monday
Can
and
I
we
do
did
one?
Tuesday.
You wanna
We
do one?
basically did all
I'm gonna do
Tuesday.
Friday.
okay, you do Friday.
Wait,
Well, we haven't done Wednesday or Thursday.
You know,
back
we're
to-
not.
Oh, date
It's
night.
a different type of grid. Oh yeah, we'll come back to date night. But you
And
talk about.
Joel's meeting.
Okay, yeah, but let's do Friday. Go for Friday. Leah wants to talk.
We hang out just at Friday, and we have to stay downstairs.
That's
Oh, Saturday.
Friday we have Shabbat.
Oh, you want to do
Yeah.
Saturday, though? Is that what you want to do?
Wait, I thought we were
Shabbat?
on Wednesday.
Do you want to do Shabbat?
What do you want to talk about?
Wait, which one?
I don't know. Which one do you want to talk about? You talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Before the one before Friday. Or I mean Saturday.
Thursday.
All right, go for it.
That one we eat dinner and then we go upstairs and watch a movie, and then when we're done we go to sleep and then we start the next day. Which is
All right.
I've
So
got some questions.
she's describing Friday, and that's our Shabbat day. Who else wants to talk about actual Friday?
Friday is my favorite workout day.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
I used to make breakfast. Memory now makes breakfast. We have a huge chore day from morning to lunch, and my dad goes out to lunch with his parents.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
And Fridays are kind of good and bad.
It's all good. All good.
What about the cleanup part? Do you like that?
she has like entry.
She sweeps the stairs.
All the stairs. We have 3 sets. 7. Why don't you learn that before you like
That's true. We do have 3 sets of stairs.
They're super
Okay,
long.
Wednesday is one of my favorite nights. That's where we do date night. And this is like something that is hard with well, it's hard with the kids because we have them provide all our childcare. We don't get any outside childcare at this point, with the exception of my parents a little bit. in the backyard here, but we don't hire babysitters or anything like that. And twice a week, scheduled, Mom and I take off. One is more business focused and one is more like romance focused. So it puts a weight and attention on the kids that we're aware of. It's hard for you guys. But we think it's worthwhile because in the long run, we think it's beneficial for the family if we're like kind of working through practical vision items and if we're romantically, and I guess it's not just romance, but emotionally connected.
Mm-hmm.
Did you just call him Mama,
I
Mom?
know, he called me Mom.
I don't
The
know.
Duggars
okay,
call
though.
each other like.
We are not the
Mama,
Duggars.
Papa.
Okay, we're not doing that.
Judges.
Okay.
We're not a. We're not
Does anyone have anything else to say about schedule? Otherwise, we got to move on here.
Thursdays, I make the best dinner in the world.
What? Excuse me. You make burnt eggs.
Burnt beans.
Is that all you have to say?
That's erratic.
I like Wednesday nights.
Choose a movie while they're gone, and then after the movie, everyone.
Goes bad.
No.
Crazy.
Yes.
And they want to watch another movie, which Mom and Dad don't let us do.
All right. Anyone else have anything they want to say about schedule? Any final questions about the schedule? Okay, I'm looking at these other schedules. Maggie Pym asks, hey, question for you and your husband. What relationship advice would you have for me and my boyfriend? Any other Q&A questions we're going to have at the end, but we're going to try and stick to these topics for now. We're already not very good at it as it is, but we're going to try. You know, our schedule has been changing constantly, and you guys know this. That's what someone asked, Anya asked in the question is, what's gone, what's come? I mean, as our kids' ages changed and our values have changed, so much has changed in our schedule. In fact, if you were to look like a year ago, there's very few things that are consistent. But one thing that is consistent, I think, is that we have depended upon a weekly schedule to express our values. So you guys have seen some of our videos. We say, if it doesn't happen once a week, it's not important to you. That's a tool that has really helped us. So the second we start to realize, oh my gosh, there's this thing that's missing and it's really important, the first thing Cammie and I do during our business meeting is start to ask, can we schedule it once a week? Because if we can't schedule it once a week, what we've learned is because of Facebook and YouTube and entertainment, and even just the nature of a large group, it's not going to happen on accident. So that's what we do. We announce it to the kids. We put it on our Google Calendar, and then at least it stands a chance at happening. Otherwise, it doesn't. And families are complicated, you guys. Like ours is complicated. We have like all sorts of goals, exercise goals. We want our kids to learn about spirituality and ancient literature and the Bible and languages and Hebrew. And we want to focus on these relationships and goals and the vlog. So all those things are like scheduled in hour increments, generally speaking. Okay, what questions do we have here? Anything you did for schedule in the past that did not work and that you have changed? Okay, that's Anya who asked this thing. Yeah, there's a lot that we've scheduled in the past that didn't work and we have changed.
Or we just phase it out because we're in a different phase.
Yeah, we're just not, sometimes we put things on there and we're just not able to do it for whatever reason. I mean, we've been trying to learn Hebrew for a long time and even like music. But I think it's like with the ages of our kids and stuff or whatever our resources were, it took almost like 3 years for music to like really catch on the way I wanted it to. Does you guys being sick ever affect the schedule?
No.
Yeah.
It depends.
Well, Ben had a bum knee for like a week, and so we didn't run when he had that.
I'm glad.
Yeah. Eden, your new hair is so pretty, from Hannah, age 9.
Thank you.
Okay, that's it for the schedule. We are going to move on. Thank you guys for that topic and those questions. We hope that's helpful. We think a schedule is really important. It's like a budget, you know, for your money, but it's for your time. It's like a time when you can get together with the decision makers of your house and say, let's shoot for this. And a lot of times, just like with a budget, when you decide something ahead of time instead of in the heat of the moment, it's more likely to happen and more fruit from it. We've experienced. Okay, guys, your mom and I are going to do this for a bit, or really just your mom. But Dove and Seven, you guys are going to have to be back here in a little bit. Okay. This next question is from Anna. And once again, this is from the Facebook thread. And I'm looking for a question. She says, would love to hear from Cami what has helped her in her journey to more freedom. Yeah, 15 minutes for this. For those of you that are new, we're so glad you're here. Thank you for coming. This is kind of our loose schedule. Where to go? Right here. So we are in this section, and we're pretty much on schedule. So Cami, why don't you? I'll
Closer.
flip over here, yeah, and I'll take a look at the questions. You can just look at this guy here.
Okay.
Go for it. You're on.
So this is a really cool question, but it's also a really hard question to answer because I see it as it was such a gradual process in a way. But I would definitely say in the last 2 years, in the last year, it's really, what's the word? I'm not excelled. Accelerated. This process has accelerated. But I would say there's like 4 main pivots in my life where I feel like that it's pushed me towards freedom.
And can we pause for 1 second and just give a little bit of context for those of you who are new to the vlog or haven't seen this? Cami even cutting her hair symbolically is representative of a lot of freedom that we've talked about in previous vlog episodes. And I think even people have mentioned in the comments quite a bit that they've seen, oh, Cami is like a different person than she was a year ago. So that's where this is coming from.
Right. About 2008, I started to go to 12 steps. That's the most famous 12 steps is AA, Alcoholics Anonymous. But I started going mainly because, well, first I started going because Ben started going to his own group. And then for me, I just started going, and because I just wasn't, I knew I had like problems, but I kind of mostly thought they were mostly Ben's problems. The 12-step program, I really began to understand myself more and why I did what I did with Ben. And a lot of it was like a lot of codependency stuff, focusing, like it helped me to recognize I needed to focus on myself and what needs to change in me and not in him. So I kind of did 12 steps off and on for the last 10 years.
Jennifer says, for those watching from the beginning, you can really see the transformation.
Oh, thank you.
I think Jennifer just started watching our vlogs from the beginning, like not too long ago. So it's actually one of the best ways to see change in our life.
It is.
Is to watch
it's
the
like,
vlogs.
It's cringy. Cool. Because it's a very tangible way for me to see, wow, I'm really different. And it's a good thing. So I think there's been something in me that I haven't really accepted, just this is how I'm going to be for the rest of my life. I had a lot of pain around our sex life and how I felt sexually. Like I didn't feel great about it. And I wasn't okay with that. Like I didn't settle for that. I wasn't like, well, I guess this is just how I was made, or, well, this was my lot in life. I literally prayed to God, like, can you change me? Like, can you do something in me that I'm different, so that I can be different? So I actually think that can be such a simple, but really it's kind of profound. Like if you don't what is going on in, with you don't like you feel trapped. You feel like I respond this way and I don't know why I respond this way, but I don't like it. I think there's a lot that can come from just saying, I don't want to be that way anymore, and asking for outside help, whether that be God or, you know, your support system or both. Yeah.
G6 Tribe says you really can see it. Lisa E says you can see a huge change. Sia 610 says I've never commented before, but I've been watching for like a year now. I can definitely see a change, which is awesome. I can't emphasize enough, you guys, from an outsider, but also an insider's perspective. Like, you know, Cammie's saying she never gave up, but it also, most this time, it never felt like anything was changing. It's like you see your kids, you never see them grow. Just like one day you're like, what the hell? Like, they're like huge. Like, what happened? And that's how it feels with Cammie.
Yeah.
Like, there was almost a decade where we never saw change. Like, we just did the same thing. It was like the slog, the grind. We're changing diapers.
I mean, there was little flickers here and there.
But only when you look back. I mean,
Yeah,
you were changing, but it
that's
wasn't
true.
like something we felt awesome about.
Right.
I think more recently we've been experiencing like what I would consider fruit.
Really, I mean, this is like really hard one. You know, it's not something that just like happened to me. I really wanted it, and I really went after it.
If you guys are new here to the Hangout, welcome, or the live stream. We're asking questions about Cammie's freedom right now. If you have other questions, we're going to try and get to them at the end. So I just want you to not forget about them. Or say
Yeah. So a few more things about this is, I think in a religious household and things is I never really accepted. Well, actually, that's not true. I think I trying to think of how to explain this. I was a really good kid. I was very compliant. I obeyed my parents. I rarely got in trouble. I think I believed in what was taught to me, that if you're nice and if you're polite and if people like you, then you must be doing something right and you must be a really great person. And I think, 10 years ago or so, something around there, I began to not believe that anymore. I began to believe, actually, hey, no. Rainier's getting the Sharpies. That's actually all on the outside. And I began to believe that there's actually a lot of the inside stuff that I never really wanted anyone to see. And I'd never felt safe, and I always felt like I had to hide it, because then I wouldn't be this person that everyone thought I was.
Sorry, life is happening
Yeah.
around here.
So, okay. Another huge thing I think is and this hasn't been always the case, but again, probably 10 years ago or so, I really began to embrace motherhood. And I think that showed was I was going after not what the culture said was valuable, but what I believed was truly valuable. And I think that's kind of my whole life, where I'm going after things that I actually believe are true and right, and not just what people are telling me I should do. But that wasn't always the case when I was a kid. So I think I've reached this pivotal point, and this is why you probably can see such a change from 2 years ago when we started the vlogs to now. I mean, I've gone through a lot of shit the last 2 years. The hardest stuff that.
Hey, there's little kids watching.
Sorry.
Look.
Sorry if that offended
Theodore,
you.
his
I really am.
23-month-old.
You're right. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. We've gone through a lot of crap.
A lot of crud.
In the last 2 years. I mean, it's the kind of stuff that was like my worst nightmare. And that is friends who I loved and admired deciding that I wasn't acceptable anymore to them. And they don't really want much of a relationship anymore.
It's how we feel.
Is how I felt the last 2 years. And the worst nightmare. And you come out on the other side and you're like, I'm still whole and alive. And I think that does something to you where you have less to fear at that point. It's just like, well, I guess that was my worst thing. One of the worst things I thought could happen. And I'm still here to tell about it. And I think I just have less to lose at this point. And so I think my true self is coming out more because I'm not of, well, what is so-and-so going to think of me? Like, that's already happened. That's already like,
All right. Allison is late. She says, glad I made it. Glad you're here, Allison. Heather says, was there ever a point where you considered stop trying to change? Time it is easier to go with the flow. And we have like 1 minute and we got to change topic. So you go.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Especially in the last 2 years, there's been times where I've just wanted to be what I felt like a normal person and just like everyone else. And I just want to have friends and I don't want to rock the boat and I don't want to be that person.
Someone asked in the last Q&A though, if it's hard for me to watch her change.
Mm-hmm.
And there was times when it was like super scary because it meant disrupting the relationship dynamic we had. Here's this person I know what to expect, and she's going to do this and ask for that. And it's like it's all dialed in.
Yeah.
And then you toss that all up in the air and nothing lands the same.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really scary. There was times for me where it was like really, really scary actually. Mm-hmm. But it has been so worth it to get to know who actually I think really was my wife this whole time, but either wasn't matured or was kind of like covered up with stuff. I feel like we're excavating who Cammie really is. So actually it's so much more exciting.
And we've been going to counseling for almost 2 years now. So that can't be understated. I think that has really helped me a lot in my growth.
Evan, can you grab Dove? She's supposed to be here. We're moving on to the next topic, but let's finish up with these comments. Andy V says, hey, we made it to Washington and our family is getting ready in our garage. Oh, in the mountains. Yes, the mountains. Man, when I get to Washington and I see the mountains, first of all, when I book a flight, I pick the seats that is most likely to have a view of Mount Rainier, both for flying in and leaving always. Mm-hmm. And when I see the mountains, it's very easy for me to start crying because I can't believe that things are that beautiful coming from back out here. Okay, Dove and Seven, sit down. Welcome to the thing. For those of you who are new, this is our little schedule thing. We are like on track-ish. Okay, you guys can sit in the middle here or wherever you want. So this next little section, this could be a little awkward or weird, I suppose. But this is stemming from this last week. We had a higher than number percentage of sex vlogs relating to sex or things that Cam and I were working through. Commenting and asking questions, and some of them were stating opinions about what it would be like to edit or title or work on vlogs about your parents having sex or their sex life. So I thought it'd be really cool if you guys were able to ask questions, or if you guys were able to just say what that was like. I don't know exactly how this is gonna work. Seven said he's willing to answer 2 questions and talk for 5 minutes. So that's how long you guys, that's what I was able to negotiate for you guys. And Dove is. Dove will work for cookie dough. So if anyone says, I'll bet you can get, all I know is at the right time, she's willing to give an awful lot for not so much cookie dough. Okay, who wants to start off? You guys want to just say what it was like, or thing like, is it hard or what was it like?
I felt like it was normal. It was just I hate editing talking vlogs. My creativity into it, or I don't have a lot of opportunities for that. That's my only downer for that. It's kind of normal, like a normal talking vlog.
Which I don't like editing talking vlogs either, just for the record. If you guys have sat through 30 minutes of the way we talk before editing, it's not easy.
I, in terms of like hearing, like, because sometimes we'll hear stuff that they don't really like tell us, not because like they wouldn't, just because like we're not like, I don't know, it just doesn't come up as much. I don't like, that doesn't affect me. I don't know if it's like normal or if it's just that we've created like a culture in our house where it's like we don't see sex as like gross or like weird or not normal. Coming up with the thumbnails and titles is a little challenging for those vlogs. Normally I just ask like, okay, Dada, what kind of approach do you want to take with this? I feel like we have a lot of sex vlogs. So what's this one gonna be like? And normally like it has to be really dramatic, or at least the title has to be like, we choose to make it kind of just so it catches people's attention. So it can be like, okay, we have to make it sound kind of bad or good or just like different. It has to stand out. So like, can be a little.
Which a little behind the scenes is, I think you have a lot of difficulty titling a lot of vlogs or coming up with thumbnails. So
it's not just the sex vlogs, but those ones. Yeah, basically every vlog.
Okay,
hard.
So Lisa E says, thanks for talking with us. I would find it difficult. Sherry says, 7, ready, and go. I don't know what that means.
I think it was right before we started talking.
Okay. Jennifer asks, does it feel embarrassing to hear the word orgasm?
Embarrassing. When I was I was a little bit surprised, like when I was like filling out the contents on the vlog, I heard it, I was like, oh wow, that haven't said that before or something. Or like, I don't know. Yeah, not embarrassing.
I don't know if you want 7 to answer that question because he only has 2. So I don't know if you want to use it on that one.
Do you
want to answer that one or do you want to save it?
I don't want to answer that one.
Okay. G6 Tribe asks, do your friends watch the vlog and have they said anything about the sex ones in particular?
Only one friend in particular has said something like, so I just watched like your mom and dad's whatever vlog about your mom and dad's sex schedule, which I didn't really need to know. Or I was like, oh yeah, that's so that was kind of,
That was about the birth video too, right?
yeah. And she was like, I just watched 20 minutes of your mom. Like, yeah, that's on there too. So it's not really in particular or specific to the sex vlogs. It's kind of like the whole, us filming our whole life is a little bit, can be embarrassing. So
yeah, I mean, what we've found is like for a lot of teenagers or really just people, I mean, I wouldn't even say it's teenagers, like talking about sex is awkward. I mean, even if we were to tell someone, hey, we're having sex on Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, people would be like, TMI. Appropriate, that's awkward, that's uncomfortable. So it's, I don't know, it's really tricky.
Mm-hmm. I just have to say, you mind if I say this?
Go for it. I don't know what you're going to say.
It's interesting hearing them talk because I was actually expecting them to just be like, oh my gosh, it's horrible. Like, I can't believe my parents are doing this. And I realized that I've projected a lot of my own feelings and thoughts about how I was raised and what I feel now about sex, like on them when they don't even like feel this way. So anyways, just, yeah, I wanted to say that because I thought that was interesting.
Heather Q says, I think all the sex talk should be in public so 7 can take advantage of the horrified faces of passersby. Just nail the thumbnails. Actually, I don't know if 7 even knows about this. Because I did that last edit. There was, where we were doing the sex education talk, there was this guy that came in and sat behind your mom and I. his face. I don't know if you saw that.
It was really funny.
It was actually kind of
Oh,
funny.
I didn't see that. I want to see it.
But I have to take credit for that one. But normally Seven does all the first pass editing.
Wait, did he like made a weird face or something?
Yeah, he was like, well, I wrote some funny captions over him because he sat down and then I think he was like, what the crap am I doing
He
here?
like got up and then walked away too.
Sia 610 says, I'm 19 and grew up in a house where you could never discuss sex at all. So my siblings and I found out through porn. You guys are actually lucky to be able to discuss this. Thanks for mentioning that, Sia. Like a lot of the religious culture we grew up in, it was never said that you couldn't discuss sex, but that was what was modeled. It was basically taught that it wasn't something that was really open for discussion. So we are trying to do things a little bit differently. Not just to be different, but because we think sex is important. Amber says, y'all are so calm and mature about this topic. Has there ever been a point where y'all think, yikes, I didn't need to know that? Or that's a bit TMI?
Well, the first time I heard about sex was when I was probably a lot younger for me to like take it in that way. And then I just grew up with it. Like I was thinking it was okay to talk about. So not really.
Dove?
That's one of my questions, by the way.
All right, you guys, internet, you got one left for Seven.
Not with them talking to me or with me seeing a vlog or something. But like I said, like with people watching the vlogs and then bringing it up, it feels like, oh yeah, oh yeah, you probably shouldn't be watching those if you don't want, like, if they're like, because the person who said she's like 17 or something. I don't know if she really wanted to see that. She said she didn't, so that was probably a bit TMI for her.
But she was the one that clicked it.
Yeah. And I try to make the titles obvious.
Yeah, you know, the sex title thing is kind of funny because in general, I don't think our sex videos get more views than not. Like, it doesn't get more views just because it has sex in it. Every once in a while it does, but the reason why we put it in the title isn't really because it draws attention, but it's almost like as a warning. Like, if you don't want to hear about this, like, you know, don't click it because we're going to be talking about this. The TMI thing, though, I think is really fascinating because, you know, there's a certain kind of vibe in our culture where a certain type of sex information is TMI. Like if you were watching an average sitcom and you saw stuff, no one would say TMI. Like what we can get away with on television now is like, it's like crazy. Like you can
It's
almost
all about context.
Yeah, it is all about context. But when you hear parents saying it, it's like, oh, like it's gross all of a sudden. And I think that's one of the things we're pushing back on. Like, I don't think we've said any words or content that you wouldn't see on. Like, we're not even talking like R-rated stuff. But we're trying to merge that with also a family of 6 kids that like follows God or is trying to. And that's, I think that's what pushes people over the edge. They don't like seeing those worlds mixed. So anyways, where are we? Tanya says, Dove and Seven both did amazing jobs. I aspire to have the kind of relationship with both of my kids.
Thank you.
Heather Q. She gives me a compliment. I know she tries not to do that. She tries to put me in my place normally, but because she thought it was 7, she's still willing to admit that it was funny.
Well, it was funny.
Lisa E says, I was never taught when I was growing up. I was given a book. Your way seems much better. Del Marys says, Devin 7, do you feel comfortable asking your parents questions regarding sex? Is there ever a time you're like, I'll ask Google? Okay, maybe this will be the last question because we got to move on from this. But one question I would ask is, if you're not comfortable, would you even say it in this context? Because that's kind of even like confusing. Yeah. Anyways, okay. So do you feel comfortable asking your parents about sex, or would you rather just go to Google?
I'll go first. Well, I do feel comfortable about it, but I don't have any questions about it. And Therefore, I don't ask Google, and I never had the slightest desire to ask Google. I was like, oh, okay, bye.
I kind of the same thing. Like, I remember being a lot more curious when I was younger, but not really knowing what kind of questions to ask, I guess. But then, then they started talking to us more and more about sex, and then all my questions were answered. Well, not all of them, but yeah. I guess I do feel comfortable asking them questions.
A lot of why we bring up sex the way we do with both the vlog, but especially with our kids, because at the end of the day, the vlog doesn't matter to us at all compared to our kids. But we bring up the quote unquote stuff that's TMI because I don't think they're going to feel comfortable like bringing it up. All right. Thanks, Steph. For the first time, once they're experiencing it or feeling things or interested. So this is like a preemptive battle for us that we're trying to introduce them and like kind of lead the way in the awkwardness. Because I think it's kind of unfair to expect our kids to like bring up some conversation that has never been brought up in a household when they're feeling awkward, confused, and on the other side of it. That's like not realistic to me. I never would have done that. I've noticed with confession, when I start sharing my stuff, it's the only time you can ever get kids to share their stuff. You can't do it by like, hey guys, this is a super safe place and you can share whatever you want. We're not going to judge you. No one cares what you say. They care what you model. And, you know, they're like, okay, great. Well, you're saying I can share anything, but how come you don't share things? Like, it obviously must not be that safe. Anyways, we're at a time for that topic, but thank you guys for bringing this all up. We're cruising through some questions here. That would have been a good one, Amber, but they took off. Sorry. Their Q says, thanks. Jennifer 7's demeanor about breastfeeding. I think Jennifer 7's a little young too. I think he hasn't
Hasn't quite gotten there yet.
yeah, that's
why I said the word yet. He's like, yeah, I've never.
Maybe I'll answer this final question because Lindsay asks, do you feel that anything is TMI? Shouldn't some things be between a husband and wife, spouse, or talk about with their spouse? Oh, John L., glad you're here. Yeah, I would absolutely say that some things are TMI. I mean, some things really just aren't helpful. But what we've been constantly surprised at is how much we can be of help. And also, I feel like there's a real overemphasis for us growing up in the Christian culture on like the surprise of the wedding night and this big bang and, you know, discovering everything for the first time and like saving purity. And it's not because I don't think purity is important, but ultimately for us, sex isn't primarily an emotional or romantic thing, at least most of the times. It's like, I mean, there is romance involved, and there was like some surprise and discovery involved. But actually, I'm far more concerned that we're faithful to each other and healthy and things are growing and we're learning than it's like waiting your entire life for Christmas night. You know, it's like not worth it. So I'm like less concerned about like just that they find things out with their spouse than like, oh, is this actually helpful to them? And it's going to help them for their life right now and for their marriage in the future, or is it not? So yeah, there's all sorts of things we leave out. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff we left out in this vlog. It's just like, it's not, I just wouldn't think it's going to be that helpful. So anyways, okay. Thanks guys for the interaction there.
We got like 6 minutes.
Yes, we have 6. Okay. Time for our super bonus. Okay. This stems from, once again, the Fight for Together discussion Facebook page, where Faith Learsey said, I would love to hear from each of you. Specific things have helped you both to increase your desire for the other in the last year or so. It seems like you guys are more into each other after being married and all this. And yeah, I would say to just the context for that is after 17 years of marriage, I would say this is for me most exciting year romantically and emotionally and physically of marriage with you.
Mm-hmm.
And I the reason why I say that, and I think it feels like I say it a lot in this vlog, it's not to brag. And I hate those Facebook updates that are like, oh, I'm married to the hottest chick in the planet. Because I don't think it's the basis for our relationship. But it's just so cool to me. I wasn't expecting that to happen. The story I experienced probably for the first 5 years of marriage and that I was expecting from Hollywood was that before you're married and in this illicit, romantic, discovery, fun honeymoon period, that's what's going to be awesome. And then the rest of your life is going to be like a ball and chain and going to kind of suck. And as a Christian, you just have to kind of endure it. In fact, this one couple said, like, you put a penny in a jar every time you have sex your first year of marriage, and then every year after, or every time after that, you take a penny out and you'll never run out of pennies. Like, because the first year is just that awesome. That has not been our experience. Okay. Do you want to?
Yeah, I think for me, I just think healing has been a factor. I think Ben's always been really into me. Not that we haven't had our problems, but that used to really threaten me because I didn't know what to do with his affections, whether they be sexual or just physical, or I don't know. I was kind of freaked out by it because I didn't know what to do with it, because I think I was not comfortable with my own sexuality, nor did I embrace it, nor did I see it as a good thing. And I think that has changed for me. Like, now I do see it as a good thing, and I think I embrace it more than I ever have before. And I think that's given us like a unity together, like that we didn't have before. I mean, we used to have most of our fights, 90% of our fights were around sex. And that's just not the case anymore.
Now we fight about other stuff, which you guys can see on our vlog. I think this just came to me as I was thinking about that. I feel like the biggest thing that changed is just so weird, because I spent most of my marriage wanting you to be different, wanting you to be someone who you really couldn't be at the time. But I feel like once I finally decided you were, I feel like that's actually when you start to change. At that point, it actually became like really unexpected and really cool. And the physical or sexual chemistry that we have, do not lick my hand. Get out of here. Go. No one wants you here. That's live.
That wasn't a kid. That was our dog.
Yeah. Some people would be more offended that we treat the dog that way. If you're from Seattle. Where was I? That's freaking dog. Okay. Whatever chemistry we have that you see with increased physical or romantic affection, that's like scratching the tip of the ice for me for how I've seen Cammie go through this change of, I don't know whether to call it deeper faith or whether just to see her as a freer human being. My heart for her has always been there. And I think as a younger man, I was a lot more horny and I cared about sex more, but I always cared about that other thing. And now the physical stuff or the romantic stuff, even, it's like, I don't know, it doesn't even like really feel like the point. So
It's like a bonus.
So in terms of, to answer your question, Faith, like some things I would say is, this has taken so many years, and you have to learn to accept your spouse and to see the beauty of who God made them to be, and just accept that reality wherever they're at right now, today. And maybe you can't do that, but the closer you work towards that, satisfaction isn't going to come when you guys as wives turn out to be like Cammie or whatever fantasy you want them to be. Whether it's a certain weight or sex a number of times a week or a certain level of dialogue or hours together. So I don't know. That would be my hope for everyone, that they're able to find hope in accepting their spouse the way they are now, and don't give up. Like, I think the the health that we pursued. We've been like Nazis about pursuing health, like weeding out things that we felt like were decaying and destroying our lives. And at different times, it's been different things. And now I look back and I'm like, oh my gosh, I love our life, but that was not how I would have said it before.
All right, it's 9 o'clock.
Okay, so we're just gonna do like a little like Q&A for miscellaneous stuff, and the official thing is like over. Thank you guys for coming. You made it. But how many people do we have here? I don't even know how to read. 34 people. Cool. So we're gonna spend maybe 5-10 minutes more if you guys are cool with that. Just because I love the interaction that this has. Bull and Drum asks, did you have all your children naturally?
Yes.
Heather Torres says, I love the new group. I am so thankful for this new group. I was telling Cammie,
Yeah, it's cool.
this part's going to be TMI for some of you, but I was like, wow, the latest discussion on there is between clitoral and vaginal orgasms. I was like, that is so cool. There's a place that people can actually talk about these things.
Yeah.
Who would have thought
Really rad.
that could be happening? Right next to a post about like how do you watch FFT when your Wi-Fi is out and you're in the hospital or something like that. I was like, those are great topics. Francis says, oh wow, it's great to see you all together. What are you doing for Thanksgiving? And can you go Instagram or Facebook live for a little? We are doing Thanksgiving at my parents' house in our backyard, and we're not going to be doing anything live that day. But we are going to be vlogging that day. I think we have done that. This says, I love the group as well. I like watching the vlog and being excited about a topic, knowing there is a place to go and discuss it. Once again, I really encourage you guys to use that group and make it whatever. I know that there were some questions. I think Heather Q was like, how much can I post on here? Like, what's too much? And I would be like, it is a closed group, so no one can see what's posted. And we're asking that people keep it confidential. But as long as it's like legit, like from your heart, you guys seeking truth, I really hope you guys use the group to its full capacity, and let's find out how valuable it can be.
Beth, or you
Yeah, where'd that
go up?
Beth
Ann.
What is the modality of the counseling that you attend?
I don't know what modality means.
I don't know what that means either. Francis Summer, it's 1:56 a.m. in the UK, and my dog just woke me up, and I see this and clicked straight away and thought I missed y'all. You can watch it on rerun, Francis. HH8 says, I love the way Ben is with dogs. I'm the same way. People can be over the top with dogs. I've never been accused of being over the top with dogs, although I do kind of have a soft place in my heart for cats, especially kittens. Lauren A says, I noticed your cellar door open. Right there. Where'd that thing go?
How do you
keep Rainier out and safe?
Well, we tell him no every time we see him get near it. We don't really do gates, so we kind of just have to like train him not to go down there. Sometimes it works.
I think we have an upcoming vlog on Rainier and discipline and that whole thing, because I think it's actually one of our most practical and life-changing beliefs. So we'll see how that goes.
Oh, bye, Lisa.
Lisa E is taking off. Lindsay asked, do your kids ever want to go to church or be involved in one? I think that'd be a great question to ask the kids when they're around next time. Sorry, I don't know how to answer that for them. Heather, live stream yet?
Oh, cool.
I'm interested to know why you thought that. Because that's great. I'd love to recreate that. Tanya asks, how do I get in the Facebook group? There is a link on the Facebook Fight for Together fan page. I think it's on all the video descriptions of our YouTube videos, so I hope you find that. Amber seconds what Heather said about this being the best live stream. Dan says, this is actually a question from Dan. How have your friendships changed as friends have watched the vlogs? Has what you have revealed impacted friends, family, and relationships? Oh my gosh, that is such a... it is so weird.
It's weird.
The fact that, I just remember there was this one moment, the weirdest one was when we thought you were pregnant the last time, and we took the pregnancy test. We're like making this video for the internet about how we think Cammy might be pregnant. But yet we weren't like even telling my parents in the backyard or like any of our friends.
Mhm.
We were hardly telling our kids. And it was this strange dynamic
Yeah.
because it was like we're telling the vlog, but we wouldn't tell. It's not something we would like run around and tell these people, because the vlog really is not a relationship. And it's like almost a virtual diary
Mhm.
in a way, like presented as a story we're writing. So yeah, it's so, I don't know. It's really bizarre. I actually honestly think like not a lot of our friends watch the vlog. So that actually helps in a way because we can kind of just assume.
I feel like I know 2 friends of ours that watch it kind of regularly, but other than that,
Which can be hard, but for us to accept, like, oh, sometimes we feel like kind of crappy, like, oh, you don't care about us. But I think we've matured, and at least for me, I'm like, oh, it's a huge commitment to watch this vlog, and you have to really be vibing with it. Like, it has to really be speaking to you and offering you some sort of value, and it doesn't for most people
and
for
just
whatever
because
reason.
they're a friend or acquaintance or whatever in our real life doesn't necessarily mean they're going to jive with that whole vlogging thing.
G6 Tribe says, how's my sister and brother-in-law doing? I think they're doing great. They live right there, and we see them all the time. We're going to be spending Thanksgiving with them, but I'm not going to answer for them. Okay. What brand of coffee do you roast? We get it from a local shop, and it's not like really a brand. Agua, I believe. Okay, we're gonna spend a few more minutes. If you have any more questions, type them in because we got a few more minutes left. Okay, this Beth Ann is asking the counseling question.
Oh,
Do you know if it's humanistic or client-centered or behavioral or psychodynamic analytic? Oh, you know, I don't know what it's called. Our guy has fairly similar spiritual beliefs as we do. So he has some church background and he counsels pastors quite a bit, but yet he's not like too rigidly legalistic in that, like he pulls from like counseling principles and
secular psychology too.
and secular psychology, but he also believes in the Bible and like something more spiritual, and he kind of combines those, which is really great for us because we don't feel like you should have to choose between those two most of the time.
Yeah, Allison.
Allison says, how much do you guys usually spend on your kids for Christmas? Man, we have been all over the place.
Sometimes very little. We had one Christmas though where we were like, we're gonna go all out, and so we spent, I don't know how much,
probably like
spent.
$200 a kid, or maybe 300, or
so that was a lot for us.
Yeah, I feel like this year it's gonna be pretty minimal because we're like going to be going on the trail and we're like really trying to downsize our life. So I would be surprised if it's more than 50 or even 20.
If it's AT stuff, I might have more.
Heather says, I watched your sermon. I was wondering if you had any other plans to do another one. I found it very helpful, maybe like a podcast or something. You know, Heather, we've talked about podcasts, and it's, I don't have any plans to do any sermons. That was kind of like a freak thing that I just got offered. So but I don't know. It's hard for me to know how a podcast might fit with our vlog. I feel like we spend so much time talking on our vlog that, John L says, thinking about growing your vlog audience, do you have a target demographic, and are you doing anything strategically to reach them? Man, that is a great question too. Oh, business. We're not going to be going anywhere here. No, we don't have a target demographic, except for, I would say, whoever this helps. And I don't know, there's this like two things that I'm weighing all the time. One is, how strategic do we be? Because I don't believe just because we believe in God, we throw out our brains. We're like, oh, well, God will take care of it. But I also think there is an aspect for us where it's important for my heart to not focus too much on growth. Like we could get really crazy with our content and we could be like, okay, we're going to make the type of content that reaches the type of people that we think we want to reach. And actually it will begin to alter our lives and we'll start it'll start being the types of videos that you'll see on other places on YouTube. Like, for example, women, everyone says YouTube is a space for women. It's stupid to go after guys on YouTube because guys just don't watch YouTube. And even like 80%, sometimes as high as 90% of our audience was women.
If it's video games,
Yeah.
sports.
No, really, it is. But, you know, I feel like our message is unisex. I feel like it's for all people, whether you consider yourself religious or not. And some people are going to find hope in it, and some people are not, no matter what category you are. So I'm trying to be, I don't know. We're really trying to be open, and we don't mind slow growth. I guess that's the other thing, because I've also thought, man, if we get really big, like let's say we get
In a short amount of time.
20,000 subscribers tomorrow, I feel like it could go to our heads and it could really like ruin us. This time is really special where we're just growing one subscriber at a time, and sometimes it's discouraging. Like I feel like we put a ton of work into it and I'm like wondering, oh, is this worth it? But
it's ever since we started this vlog, saying to Ben, if it helps one person, it'll be worth it. And I kind of think that's like our mantra, or that's what I want to keep remembering, whether we have only 20,000 subscribers or we have 100,000 subscribers.
And it's actually the right kind of help. You know, I don't want to just help people by like showing them a hack for life, or like, oh, I didn't know you could make those kind of waffles. Like now you make those kind of waffles.
Like lasting help.
Yeah. Like the best stories for me, I've heard of people that have like given up on family and now they're not, or they've given up on God and they're not anymore. Cause they're like, oh my gosh, like you guys are a different picture of that for me. And I'm like, oh, that's the coolest thing for me. So that, yeah, it's, I don't know how many hours it's worth doing to find one of those people. But sometimes I feel like people doesn't come along very often, but it's worth it. And I don't know how you'd ever set out to find those people if you were like creating catchy thumbnails or titles or doing some marketing campaign.
Yeah.
So it's
right.
Okay. We got a few more questions. Man, we still have 38 people watching, so I'm just going to keep on going here because we're having fun. Luna says, I've been holding off watching episodes, saving them for when you are gone. Oh, man, you're going to be behind. Heather Q says, to what's special about this being the best live stream, just the content, I guess, minus the part where Ben calls me a jerk. You had all the great things to say over here cooking dinner and nodding my head. That's cool. Thanks for the compliment. Amber says, would you be all right with my church showing your sermon in a Bible class? And I would love to share this message. Yeah, we are completely happy with you guys sharing anything that we post online. I mean, when we post it, it's like posted, you know, and I don't care if you give us credit. The more you guys can own, the better. For example, if you're talking to your friends and you're like, control, like, don't say Ben and Cammy said, like, share what you believe. But in the case of sharing our videos, yes, please share whatever you want with whoever you want, whenever you want, for all time. Topics. HHH says, Cammy, did you get your period back?
Getting your period back. Postpartum, feel like early pregnancy. I was convinced I was pregnant for a month. No, but it's always a shock after not having your period for like a year and a half.
Eric says, hi from New Hampshire. Eric, good to see you. Join us. Glad you made it. Okay. Mr. Peter says, when you minimize your life before you leave for the trail, could you set up an online auction to sell things? Yeah.
That's right.
We're actually already selling things.
Football table?
Yeah, seriously.
We're selling
What are we
that.
trying to get rid of today? I might be trying to get rid of an Xbox soon. We're leaving to go feed the twins. This was our date. We enjoyed being with you guys. Thank you guys for joining us. Have a good
Yeah.
night.
Good night.
HQ says homeschool moms represent. Yeah, they are represented here. Luna says we are not religious, but we find so much spiritual growth. You have helped save our family, finding each other again. Now we live small homeschool. We build our home. Yes, I'm really glad that you feel comfortable here and are sharing that. That's really cool. Allison says, do you guys ever think you would attend VidCon or Playlist Live? Or is it not for you guys? You know, right now it's not for us. Just because I don't want to say that we don't have to anything to learn from other vloggers, but I will say that it is important for us to kind of be in our own space. And we started off like not doing things normally, not just like on purpose, but because we felt like we had a unique purpose or calling that we had to be faithful to. So sometimes being around that stuff can be more of a distraction than a benefit for us, because I'm like, oh crap, this is how they're doing it. We should do it this way and that way. And I'm not saying it's bad. It just ends up costing a lot and taking a lot of time. And then we end up feeling pressure to it the way it's done instead of, I don't know, our way. I thought this is Rainier. Oh, sorry. You gotta come on over here. We have a few more. Soren Eagle says, Ben, what ideas do you have about how to grow even more in your sensitivity to Cammie's sexuality and the impact of her abuse? What ideas do you have about how to grow more in your sensitivity to Cammie's sexuality? The biggest thing that I think I have to grow in with Cammie's sexuality and her abuse, there's kind of two things recently on the vlog. It's just, I have a very aggressive personality, for those of you guys that don't know. And it can be overbearing and it can be overwhelming to Cammie. So I think I have to take special measures where normally just asking someone, hey, do you want to have sex? That would be enough for some people or some times with Cammie. Sometimes I feel like I need to go a step beyond, or it'd be helpful for if I took the next step and said, like, hey, like, why don't you take 5 minutes and think about that and give yourself some space and really proactively try and protect her and give her some space to work through that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a double-edged sword, though.
Yeah.
Because I feel like then I'm almost like trying to do your job for you. And then the second thing is just constantly, this is not a new thing, but it's a difficult thing, just for me to accept reality of wherever Cammie's at whenever she's there. So if she says no, I'm disappointed, to just work through my disappointment on myself and not try and get her to change to make me feel better. And challenging thing, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Cammie, how different would your life be if Ben had to go to a job Monday through Friday? Asks Ashton.
Man. Really, really different. The last time that's happened, in fact, I don't know.
Oh, hello. You come back? You want to come over here?
Hey, buddy.
What are you doing here? How about we bring the Sharpies over here? Here, and then you can color here. You want to come over here?
The last time he had a normal job, it was like the first year of our marriage. So I honestly don't really know what it's like to have him gone Monday through Friday. But I would imagine that would be tough. But I think you would get used to it. But it'd be tough.
I don't like you playing Sharpies, but since it's a live stream,
okay,
you can do whatever you want.
Lorne, love you guys. I found you through the birth video and have stuck around. I have loved. Hi. Okay. I have loved seeing the growth in your marriage, spiritual life, and family. Please stick around. Larry says love from Minnesota. Mommy of 4 says, how did you meet the Schmovies? That's how I found your channel about a year ago.
Worked for a company that I owned, like teaching Bible study type things that they came to in our living room. And that was how we met them a long time ago. Oh, did you do that?
No.
No?
No, I didn't do it.
Who did that then? Yeah?
Bull.
Listen, we have it recorded on video
Bull
stream.
and Ram asked, Cammie has an acoustic guitar. Would you want an electric guitar? super into electric guitar. Shelby asks, how impacted your family, parents, siblings, etc. I think we already answered some of that.
It's the same thing as the end said about Friends, which is earlier. It's kind of weird because there's things we talk about on the vlog, which we know family can watch if they want to. Also wouldn't normally talk about with family. So they have access to this information about us that is strange.
Okay. Bye, Heather Q. You have to go pay in blood for the hour I borrowed from the fam.
Okay.
Surprise, the house is still standing. Good
Ask
night.
whatever is. Let's look at the last question, and then we'll work through these last ones, and then we're done.
Eric asks, okay, my wife wants to know, she's curious if there was any Jewish heritage in your families. We recently found out that we have some in our bloodlines on both sides. I don't think I have any in mine. I don't know, possibly, Ben?
I feel like I do, but I've nothing in my family has ever, no one's ever said anything, or I don't know any history that validates that. It's actually the size of my nose and just this feeling I have.
Okay.
No offense to Jews with big noses.
Francis Sumner asks, I would love to know how you come up with kids' awesome names. How did you decide on them?
Are we really going to tell the whole story right now?
Yeah. I'll just talk about Dove because I think that's the most
We have
fun.
this all in a whole vlog episode.
Dove was named in high school. We weren't going together or anything, but he said he was like drawing some sort of tattoo of a dove, and he said that would be a cool name for a girl. And I was the only one that agreed with him. And then it was like 4 years later, we actually had a baby girl together, and we named her Dove.
No.
Cami was not interested in me at that time.
I know, it's kind of ironic. All right, that is it.
That was a wrap. Cool, guys. Hey, thank you so much for joining us, whether you are live tonight or whether you're watching this after the fact. This is really fun. Hey, okay, not now, please. Thank you. And it's really is fun to interact with you guys because the vlog is just not that for us, and comments don't feel like that really. Facebook group though, another plug. That thing is pretty cool. Yes, what can I do for you? Hey, Flea, can you just give him the markers now, please? Thank you. Okay, but you should probably put the lid on that. Hey, Flea, just we're trying to minimize variables at this point. Okay, yeah, that new Facebook group.
Eric.
What?
Eric says, hey, I have a Jewish and Greek big ass nose. Haha, it's all good.
All right, you guys,
Okay.
We'll see you later. Let us know if you want to see another live stream. We haven't done one of these in a while, but this was kind of fun. It is time to go. Oh, guess what it's time for? It's time to go night-night.
Night-night. Can you say bye?
Can you say bye?
You want to wave? Bye-bye?
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Can you wave?
Can you wave?
But yeah, it's kind of weird. It's a TV, huh?
It's like I'm seeing myself.
All right. We will see you guys later.
Good
Have a
night.
good night.